Wrong fucking trailer. Well, there you go. Me head's all over the place because, you know, I wake up today, right? And I'm not going to sit here and have a big moan or anything, right? But I'm just going to say this. You want to all, the people that have a problem with me liking the trailer, and there has been people that have a problem with me liking the trailer, I would suggest that you go and jump off a cliff or something and leave me alone. I am not an echo chamber. If I liked the trailer for last night's Series 13, that's my fucking choice. That is my fucking opinion, and I'm not going to change it for anybody else. Okay? No, old monsters, bringing old monsters back hasn't convinced me because I knew they were coming back. The trailer to me was good. All right? Now, if people have a problem with that because I like the trailer, because you can't see past his own hatred towards Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker, I suggest you leave the channel, you stop following me on Twitter, and you stop supporting me videos. Okay? Because all you're ever going to get on here is my truthful opinion. All right? And if I think something's good, I'm going to say it's good. If I think it's bad, it's good. I'll say it's bad. But how dare people pull me up on it? And that's all I'm going to say. And there'll be no discussing the new Who trailer on this stream anyway. I wanted to say my piece. I've said my piece now. We're leaving it at that, right? But people have a problem with me liking the trailer. You can go and fuck off. Don't care, right? Really don't. Getting on my nerves now, is all that. I'm sick of this shit, man. And I don't need people coming onto my Twitter account to tell me that the trailer is shite, you're not watching this shite. I don't care if you're not watching it. Don't come onto my thread and tell me that you're not watching it. Don't give a shit. Don't care. And yes, I've gotten up on the wrong side of the bed. And yes, I'm pissed off, right? And I've every right to be. I'm sick and tired of this. It was the same when I did a review of the festive special. I got criticised for praising that as well. Like, what do you want? Do you want me to be coming on and giving out all the time? Is that the only reason why people are following the channel? Because if that's the case, then you subscribe to the wrong channel. Yes, I did give out about the current era quite a lot because it was justified. But if I see something that's good, I'm going to say it. Right? Sick of this crap, man. Just leave me alone. Fucking sick of it. I'm sending the emails just in case anybody is wondering what I'm doing. But we're a little bit late tonight because I was up at the early hours of this morning talking to Melina and someone else that we were playing Fortnite with, so I'm a little bit agitated today. Right, emails I sent out to the people that I know are coming on today. So if you check your email there, you should have got your email. We've already got one person waiting in the studio. Now let's see if my epoxy camera will work, because I was having technical difficulties before we come on. And it's still not working. This fucking thing is weird, man. 1 minute it works and then the next minute it doesn't. Right, let's see. Right, the camera's still not working. I've refreshed this thing and all, man. I don't know what's going on. It was working. Right, my camera's still not working. We'll see if I can get it working during the stream. Right, so we've got 1, 2, 3. I think that's it, actually. I don't think there's anybody else coming on. Right, let's bring on our guests anyway. We're waiting. I've sent one to Ballstrek, but I don't know if he's going to turn up. So we'll wait and see, because he was on stream with us late last night. So we'll see if he pops in. But for now, let's bring on our guests. So we'll bring them on all together. So we've got the one and only Queen Charlotte. We've got
Hello.
How are you? Real Super Doctor and
Hey.
And we've lost
he just knocked himself off.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's going to put him in a good mood. Hello.
Fucking camera. Fucking stupid thing. Anyway, we're here for the Caves of Skull, the Forest of Fear, and the Firemaker.
Yay. And no, not.
Oh, we're going to have such a fun night tonight.
Oh, he's going to be raging at the sky in a minute.
Yep.
Hey.
This fucking camera.
Might need to fill around with the settings at some point.
It's not that. It should automatically fucking come on. I guarantee I know what it is, actually. Hold on. You're probably right.
I think I'm right.
See, I had a problem with my microphone. I had to kind of restart the whole thing.
Might need to update drivers or something if it's a Windows machine.
They're really, really pathetic, the Windows.
There.
Yeah, Mac does it automatically.
Oh, man.
Happy days.
Not really.
No.
Anyway, I've got the DVD ready to go. If everybody in the chat has the DVD,
yeah,
let me know, will you? Because I just want to get started on this.
Let's plow through this one. This is
no, it's not that I want to plow through. I just don't want to do it because
I do.
I'm pissed off right now. Right?
Yeah.
I'm entitled to my opinions. Right?
Of course.
End of fucking story. Like, people accusing me of fucking this, that, and the other. Fuck off. Like, I'm not an echo chamber.
Well, how boring it would be if we all agreed on everything.
On the air, go and fucking watch them, right? I like the Series 13 fucking trailer, right? Don't know what everybody's fucking problem is, but some people out there have a fucking problem getting sent messages and all. Why are you liking the Series 13 trailer? Well, am I not allowed to like something now? No, do I have to stick with the narrative, which is continue to hate this era? Is that what you want?
Because you're entitled to like it. I mean, I think most of us agreed it was good in many ways. I mean, look, you just have to be true to yourself and honest, and that's it. If you like it, you like it. You don't owe anyone an explanation.
No, well, that's the problem. It seems like I do, because I've liked this trailer now. Now they want, well, why do you like it? Tell us why you like it. Why you
Yeah.
fucking doing
Yeah, that way is where communism lies, you know.
it? I say, well, you all tell me why you hated it then. You know what I mean? Fuck off, man. I don't care whether you hate it, dislike it, thought it was crap, thought it was this, that, and the other. I liked the trailer, and that's my opinion. What do we keep talking about on this channel and in this community? We keep talking about everybody's entitled to their own opinions. Isn't that right? Well, a lot of you seem to be hypocrites out there, because as soon as I gave an opinion on a trailer, you haven't liked that, and you have questioned why I liked it. Now, not people on here talking about on Twitter and Facebook and other places where it's been sent messages, right? Mind you, our own business.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't, eh? It seems to
Well,
be
it does, but this is where we've gotten, and it's the same with bigger YouTubers as well. This is why I think that some bigger YouTubers out there continue to hate, because they know if they say anything positive, then all of a sudden people will start calling them out on it. But I'm not that
be surprised.
You know what I mean? I'm not that way, and I will call it as I see it. I enjoyed that teaser, trailer, whatever you want to call it. We had the debate whether it was a trailer or a teaser trailer. It doesn't fucking matter. I liked it, right? People on the panel thought it was okay. Some people didn't like it, right? Ballstrek thought it was actually ridiculous, right? Don't agree with them, but we fight with each other, down each other's throats about it. No. We've moved on, and that's it. But some people out there just can't. You have to question everything.
It's this very black and white either or thing, and I think that if you're going to argue along those lines, you'll pretty much know better than the other side. You know, like you just always see things in black and white. You can't do that. You know, you have to be a bit more giving, a bit more. You know, use your reasoning. You know, like you can't just blanket. And just go, well, you know, there's only one monolithic thought process here. That's not how it works.
Exactly.
And
just because I like the trailer doesn't mean that when Series 13 comes along, that I'm all of a sudden going to be jumping on the bandwagon and saying, oh yeah, Chris Chibnall in, right? All I'm saying is that the teaser did it for me, right? Doesn't mean now when I watch Series 13 that all of a sudden this is going to be gold and this is going to be the best thing that he's ever done. But I'm willing to give it a chance, like I said, I was anyway from the beginning, and nobody seemed to have a problem with that. But now, because I've liked the trailer, now apparently I've changed my mind or calmed down and I'm this, that, and the other. Will you just leave it out, man?
Yeah, and also just to quickly add, obviously this show is made by lots of different people, lots of different teams, and you can have one part of that one team has done, which is nothing to do with Chibnall or Whittaker or anything like that. I like the music. I think that was probably the best bit of music I've heard for this era.
Yeah, I agree with you, Charlotte. I thought the music, and I know people on the panel were saying it was kind of like your typical trailer music, but that's fine, fair enough. But that's what we wanted. We wanted typical trailer music, and it was a good music.
But I love the music. But Whittaker and the main cast did nothing for me.
So that's fair enough, and you get that, and you're entitled to that opinion. And I'm not going to have a row with you and say, well, how dare you for not liking the trailer? Do you know what I mean?
No, we had that yesterday.
No, that's my point.
I fought me corner, Lee, as someone said on Twitter, like, I fought me corner, like, that's what I do. That's what you do. You fought
as I said on Twitter just now, like, you know, you fought with gusto, and that's your opinion, and, you know, I know you know, you have an emotional response to things, and I understand that. So that's why we can disagree with things. You have a particular way of doing it, and I have a particular way of doing it, and that's fine. You know, that's how we you know do things.
And my point is, in a trailer, you can like certain aspects and think other aspects are absolutely terrible.
Yeah, that's the point.
That is the point, exactly. It's only a fucking trailer. I'm not saying that Series 13 is going to be epic. I don't know, because we haven't seen Series 13 yet. But the trailer, or teaser trailer, whatever you want to call it, when I watched that, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm down for that. Let's see what happens. You know, that's it. That's all I'm feeling. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm actually pretty stoked a little bit. Have to be honest, I like the Sontaran design. Thought it was deadly. Someone actually said, oh, the Sontaran looks like a drunk granddad. Like, Jesus Christ, man, will you just leave it out? I get it. You don't like the Chibnall era, and neither do I. But Jesus, we have to remove ourselves from going through a fucking a fucking echo chamber, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I think a lot of people out there are. I know, I get it. You don't like this era, like you don't like Disney Star Wars, but there comes a point in time where you have to say, well, enough is enough of this bullshit. Like, this era is coming to an end. You know, the next era that comes along now, hopefully I'll be here with positive things to say. Is people gonna start like unsubbing me then all of a sudden because I start saying positive things about the show? I know a lot of you came here because I gave a lot of fans a voice that felt left out with the current regime, but things are changing, folks.
Yeah.
Right? The things are changing. A new era is coming up. So, you know, you will still have our voice if you have concerns or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'm moving on from this era. And if I've got positive to say about RTD and what he's going to do, I'm going to do it. So if that upsets some of you because, you know, of the time this children, because you can't get past that, well, then that's fine, fair enough. But don't be coming at me and having a go at me because, or calling me this, that, and the other because I like something, right? That's all I'm just trying to say. We're getting to a point in society where even if someone tries to be positive, they're being knocked down, and it's wrong. It's wrong. I think that everybody seems to forget that you know, the reason why I became popular on YouTube was because of my hatred of the current era, and because I wasn't afraid to call out those people or call out what was going on. But you know, it's coming to an end. People are saying, well, you're not as ferocious as you used to be in all of this. But I've said everything that I need to say about Series 11, 12, Jodie Whittaker, Chris Chibnall, the writers. What more do you want me to say? You know? And as I said, I was going to go in with Series 13 with a clean slate. That's why when I sat there and I watched the trailer, I cleared my mind of all of the rubbish that's come before, and I was able to sit there and watch the trailer without any judgments of what came before. I can do that. I know there are some people out there that can't, and that's fair enough. I get that. But don't come to me with your negativity because you can't get over that. And that's the point I'm just trying to make. I didn't want to come on here and have a rant, but I'm seriously sick and tired of this now. Everybody needs to take a chill pill, right? This era ends in a few months' time, right? Next year, right? A few months from now. It'll be all done, and then we head into a new era. Right, it'll be actually interesting to see how fans react now when this is all over, because the way I see it now, I don't know. I think there are some fans out there that'll never accept or move on unless the time of children is retconned, and unfortunately, it's not going to be. Chibnall will tidy it up, but it's not going to be retconned.
No, it's going to be shifted. If anything,
Yeah,
it's just going to be slightly shifted.
Yeah, and it's going to be a sticking point for a lot of fans, but don't take it out on me because I've decided that I can move on from that. Yeah, you all saw me time this child's reaction. I broke down in tears, for fuck's sake. I was devastated. So I feel what you are feeling, but I'm able to put all that bullshit aside. I have to for my own good anyway. Right? I can't keep going down this rabbit hole and my mental health being obviously fucked as well, because I'm getting it from all sides. Do you know what I mean? I have to look at this, you know, I have to look at this objectively, and that's what I'm going to do. So if that upsets people because I'm going to look at this current series objectively, well, then I suggest that you tune out, because if there is anything positive to say about Series 13, I will be coming on stream and I will be saying positive things about Series 13. Obviously, if it's bad, I will do what I've always done, and that's it. That's where I stand. Right, I'm going to leave it there now because I've spoke for 20 minutes now, me anger, and that's it. I've got all off my chest now. So, right, if everybody in the chat is ready, please press 1. Remember, we're doing the caves of the Cave of Skulls first, so it's the second episode. I've got the TV over the other side of the fucking room, so what I have to do is I've got the camera there, so I'm sitting here. I've twisted the TV right around so I can actually see it. Now, obviously, when we have the new setup done and we fix the sitting room up and stuff like that, I won't have to do this, but this is literally the way I am now, so I have to sit like this. So I'm sitting sideways, watching the telly. So I'm not ignoring any of this, right? I will be keeping an eye on the chat as well.
Blatantly.
And I've got my handy little PlayStation controller with the earphones in it now, ready to go. So I'm going to put one ear in now. I'll just use the one ear because you don't need the two, you know. And I've got big ears anyway, look. So take the sound, you know. So, you know, the big ears with the long hair and the beard. I was thinking of
William Hartnell here.
and I'm a full-blown Jesus. What do you think?
Cheryl would kill you. Cheryl would kill you.
Irish Jesus. We've got Robert Campbell Stonebanks in the chat. We've got Daniel in the chat. We've got Dave in the chat. We've got Laura Stott in the chat. I think I got your name right there for a change. Yay. Who else have we got in the chat? We've got Cardwitch in the chat. We got Disaster Area also in the chat. We got obviously Real Super Doctor who's joined us. We got the legend that is Daniel. Welcome. Did Alpha Omega reach 100 subs? Because, you know, he was on 93 and I said when I came on here tomorrow, I wanted to know if he'd reached his 100 subs. So, actually talking about that, Daniel, I was actually checking out your channel last night. Fair play to you on the subscribers, man.
I know we've had a jump a little bit.
I'll tell you, man. Jesus Christ, I was even saying it to Alpha, you're building up your audience nice now. I'm proud of you, man. Really am. Keep it up.
Oh, PD's just popped in the chat. He's finished with Rabbi. Do you want to just send him
the link?
I'll
send him a link. I'll send you a link now, mate. Hold on. Just give us a second. I'm just doing
No, our line of duty stuff seems to be catching now. Our numbers are getting good.
It is. I told him because he was going to give them up. He came to me and asked me for some advice, and I said, "No, don't give them up. You're building and what?"
Go on. So I was just going to say with Alpha Omega's channel, like I nearly blew it today. I turned up late, but for the I would say for the Blake 7 thing, you know, do come and join us for that. You know, get into Blake 7.
Yeah, do go and support these Blake 7 streams. Lee will be there, and if you want to see and hear Lee talk enthusiastically and positively about a TV show, that's the stream for you. Because everybody says he's like me, he's always wrong about something. But seriously, when it comes to Blake 7, anybody slags Blake 7 off, Blake 7 shitely.
Trouble.
See, look, watch. Blake 7 shitely.
I kill you!
I'm picturing Lee's face right now.
We've got the Queen, obviously, as well. If I've missed anybody, let me know. We got Lee Halford and Cam also in the chat. And Lee Halford said, I love the trailer too. Jesus, man. Because you've been like me, not a big fan. See, but this is what I'm saying. You know, a lot of people were surprised by it. And obviously, there were people that still didn't like it. And that's fine. They're entitled to still not like it. But don't come to me or other people that happen to like the trailer and have a go at us. It's not nice. It's not nice. Right? I might even like Serious Ordain, but I like the trailer, so I'm not gonna lie. Oh, by the way, apparently the Batman trailer, I think DC Dome, isn't it? Comic Dome, wherever you call it.
I think
Fandom Dome. That's on tonight, so I think there might be a Batman trailer. So I reacted to the first one, I think, on the Irish Geek channel, but I had no camera at the time. So when the trailer does drop, obviously later on, I will come on then. I'll be on camera. And you'll see me face as I'm reacting to the trailer. So I'll be doing that later on, if I still have the energy. After last night. 2 live streams last night, 3 live streams actually. 2 on this channel, and then actually, no, wrong. We had 5 live streams last night. We had 2 on this channel and 3 on the other channel. Gaming with Melina and Brian and our other friends from America. We had a great laugh. We only got 1 victory though, so I'm a bit pissed about that. The Batman trailer was pretty cool. Oh, the Batman trailer's already done. Okay.
Well, no, Lee's just said trailer by 10 p.m. UK time. So he says it's going to be around about 10.
The first trailer then that they're talking about, Cardwitch is talking about. Yeah. The first trailer was pretty cool. I agree with you. Noel is the Irish Loki. Thank you. I do like Loki, by the way. Again, I got stick for that as well. You know, I can't win. I can't win. Right, everybody in the chat is ready because I did see ones. Is everybody on the panel ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'm off. I'll see you later.
Bye.
Right. Okay, we're about to do the countdown. We're going to get Queen Charlotte, but firstly, I have to bring on PD Rich because I'm a bit of a fucking tick. Did you see that? I think Jesus Christ Almighty. I nearly forgot the man. If it was Alpha Omega now, we'd have the fit. Where's Alpha? Yeah, he's in work. He told me he's in work today. Alpha is great, I have to say. He should stay on camera. He's a good looking man. I don't mean that in a gay way or anything. But he's a good looking man. You know, stay on camera.
That bit, you really didn't.
Someone said that to me the other day when I was streaming on Fortnite, right? No, I don't want this to sound gay or anything. And I was like, what? Well, I love your Irish accent.
What's the problem with that?
I'm just saying I'm a straight man, and then some other straight.
Yeah, we know that. Most straight people don't need to announce it.
What a straight bloke actually goes, no, I don't take this the wrong way. I'm not gay or anything, but I love your Irish accent. And I was like, I know, it's great, isn't it? No, I got all embarrassed and I went all red. You know, someone compliment. I don't.
I'm trying to imagine you with colour in your face. Hold on.
Listen, I can't even stand my own bleeding voice, man. When I go onto the YouTube channel and I have a stream on and then I hear me fucking voice, I'm like, oh, you know, Jesus Christ! Like I don't like me own voice.
I don't like my own voice either. It's just because I sound a bit too Scottish.
Scottish
at times.
No, don't all try and do Scottish accents now.
Oh no.
Nah, just as bad as them all trying an Irish accent. Do you remember that, Charlotte?
Oh yes, that's why I don't try accents because I think it's because my voice has sort of gone to middle ground anyway. I can't do any accents for long. They just all descend into terrible.
Excuse me.
Here he is. Here he is. Better late than never. I'm only messing. It was my
Hello,
fault.
hi, hey, hi.
Now,
Yes,
how
it's
does my voice-
because your octave in your voice is you're either an octave lower or an octave higher than it sounds in your head for your ear, the vibration of your ears. That's why it always sounds a bit off. I've got a paper on it if anyone wants to read it sometime.
Oh.
Daniel says he hates his voice too. No, I think your voice is pretty cool, Daniel.
Better accent than I've got, Daniel.
I like the Scottish accent myself personally, I have to say.
This horrible North London accent, you know?
Got Eddie.
Right.
Yeah.
North
London.
Actually, I've just realised I've got a lot of Scots on this channel. I'm being invaded by the Scots.
It's because you're Irish, mate. It's a clan thing.
Yeah.
They're just Irish people that found somewhere colder and wetter.
Where can we go? Well, I got this place called Scotland. Let's go up to Scotland.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, shit. It's snowing here and it's worse than Dublin. What the fuck are we doing?
And I mean, it's worse when we've got the bad weather up here. I mean, and it was freezing the last couple of nights here.
Oh, it's been cold here, trust me. Jesus,
Yeah.
Cheryl came out to me this morning after I'd finished up with Nelina and Brian and others, right? And I was literally sitting on the sofa like this, shivering, right? And I go to her, why is it so cold? She goes, it's not cold. I said, it's bleeding. So I looked out the window, the pitch was frozen over.
Yeah.
Cheryl must have some, well, it must have been all the alcohol she had last night. Jesus,
Where did she live? Canada? Did she come from Canada?
Jesus, man. You know, and I wouldn't even mind. She's American and she's
North America.
So it's like the weather, she says, is quite similar to here, but they get warmer summers. Like, so I was kind of shocked at her when she said it wasn't cold, but apparently it does be colder. And where she?
Where's she from? Washington State or something?
Missouri, St. Louis, Missouri.
Missouri, it's quite warm in Missouri.
Yeah, so she lives in Missouri. They get very harsh winters, though, apparently.
Yeah.
So, you know, so it's right. We'll get going on this watch along because we got everybody. You said you had your DVD ready to go as well, didn't you?
Yeah, mine should be ready.
Right. So without further ado, we're gonna get the Queen.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Do the countdown. No, not that Queen. The true Queen.
You got freedom.
And we've
Don't
already
confuse
told Lee
things
that he
more.
can't do go anymore because
Well, he
that's
still does.
That's
Doesn't matter.
trademark. Yeah, well, I'm trademarking it now. That's officially yours.
Texas, you know.
That's
You're
officially yours.
trademarking it. Okay.
Trademark it. Right, anyway, let's do this. We got the ones in the chat. Charlotte, without further ado, go ahead, love. Hold on now. I want to make sure that.
You know, the longer you've said this, right, we could have, like, Charlotte was ready to go and you just kept going without further ado. It's like, yeah, come on, let's do it.
Yeah. So Daniel wants his co-host to hurry up. Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna have words with you later, Daniel.
Sorry, Daniel, I'm only messing. You didn't say Anne.
All right.
I'm only joking. Don't get that up. He's a good man.
Oh, he is. But I love to have a rag at him. Right. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
The cave of the skulls.
Holy shit! I'm on double speed.
Are
It's all right.
Are you Crystal D or something?
Oh, don't you start that shit again, man. You fucking come on to me profile, start giving me love. See, that's what
God, is a xenomorph back.
I haven't changed. I did like the trailer, but that's it. But wait, you see, when Series 13 comes along, it's probably going to be the biggest dump gone.
Yeah.
So
Chris Chibnall's writing it all, so...
Yeah, I think Dan Hadley summed it up here. He says it's the best thing I've seen out of Chris Chibnall so far, that trailer.
Exactly. So, you know, there are some people that are in agreement with me. It's just there is going to be that small element that just can't get over it. And I really do understand it. But don't, as I said, there's no point in you having a go at people that do like the trailer. You know what? I'm not betraying anybody. I'm not betraying you because at the end of the day, when I watch the series,
it's cold as well.
It could be a completely different story. We probably did get the best bits in the trailer. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Let's be fair. You didn't get a lot of dialogue, and we've all said the dialogue is usually the worst part of the current run. So you saw a lot of explosions and monsters.
Where is the fire, Samix?
Okay, on that count, Charlotte, it's now 6.5 lumps of poo. It's gone up.
Oh, and Daniel, I won't kill you. Just I have fun though ragging. He just said in the chat, I'm dead.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, the fun thing to do is...
How did that fucking idiot there on that screen think he was going to make fire from a bone like that by rubbing it with his hands?
And his dad obviously taught him badly. It's the inference, isn't it? It's like you're the son of Firebringer.
Well, it was actually because Za never was shown how to make fire, and it was because his father passed away, and it's because that the tribe was reaching the cold point, and this is them trying to get the leader to make fire.
Yeah, come on though. This isn't a can't clean their bloody flu out. There we go.
Yeah.
It's like
just rubbing a bone together. I mean, it just shows you how primitive it is.
Yeah.
And this is the only story that they had to kind of put out there. So they just started off with the Firemaker, or though they would have if the time they had the time and they fitted it in, it would have went from Earthly Child to the Daleks. But sadly,
no, look at the chat.
Aggressive.
He told me last night that he was in work. Now, we're witnesses, man.
I didn't see him in Rabbi's chat.
He was in work, man. How did I forget you? You said you were in work last night, man. I'll send you the link, but you told me you were in work last night, and I'll go back and watch that stream again where you said it. You told me you were in work. You said you're in work for the next 4 days. That's what you said to me. Jesus, man.
But now we know the TARDIS got screwed up.
Yeah.
I never realised that's how the TARDIS got screwed up. It was a quick jump.
Yeah,
you sent me a message on Twitter, to be fair. Yeah. But you did actually tell me that you were in work, but no message on Twitter. Right?
Oh no, he just said He's just put. I said I was off work.
Well, he did like
Off
7
work?
earlier.
Well, for fuck's sake, Alfie. Well, there's
He's
the
just being
link, man.
difficult, isn't he?
There's the link, man. I thought you said you are in work for the next 4 days. So miscommunication there. I didn't hear it properly. So
Yes, Lee, we have started.
But there's the link. Come on in.
So Lee in the chat, we have started, and we're 4 minutes 24. Sorry.
Oh, did we miss you as well? Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
Well, no, he's just said it. Have we started? So just to know, we have started because I just did the countdown. So we're currently at 4 minutes 38 now. If you want to know how much we've watched so far.
Yeah.
Laura Cox is on the way. I'm watching on my tablet. Fair play to you. We got Barbara Shines in this episode from Daniel as well.
Yeah.
Ian's pretty.
Formerly Mr. Passive Aggressive or whatever name he's going to come up with today says, I said I was off work.
It's this episode. It started off from an earthly child. It kind of sucks you in, and you can imagine what it was like in 1963 when you were faced with that first episode, and then you went into the second episode next week. Wow.
Yeah, because I think going like as far back was a really good idea.
Yeah.
It really quickly just establishes how far what the TARDIS can do.
Yeah.
By the way, let us know when you need a timestamp. He says he's just firing up his BritBox. So when you need a timestamp, someone will give you a timestamp on the panel. And Alpha, I sent you that email about 3 minutes ago. You're taking the piss now. Where are you? Hurry up! You got 2 minutes to come on. You're not on in 2 minutes of kicking your ass to the curb.
So I suggest for their quick takeoff. I think the Doctor passed the fast return switch in the console.
Oh, I see. Yeah, something happened. That's what caused
something happened.
damage.
Yeah.
And everyone have headaches. Yeah.
I was going to say, you have the famous line that's increasingly becoming more famous. That he's like,
I love.
Why is it like this?
If you could touch the alien skies and hear the sounds of cries of strange birds and watch them heal in another sky, would that satisfy you?
Lee, do you want the timestamp now?
The way he's got the cheeky smile on his face while he's talking to Ian about time travel. Where the going on, and he's so confident that he's right. That he's being a smart arse with Ian, and I love that.
Yeah, because I love the reactions of both Ian and Barbara, because obviously Ian had to freak out when he first went in the TARDIS, because he's a scientist.
Yeah.
He's trying to use logic and fact to work out how on earth the TARDIS can work.
That TARDIS out the exterior though.
And then Barbara's as soon as they go outside, that's when Barbara freaks out. And I love both of their reactions, and I think you need this in a companion. You can't have them just be blasé about what they're doing or what they're seeing. You need to have that human experience of the shock, and I think it's really well done for both of them.
Yeah. And I think it's good for the open episode anyway. So, and even I think Stephen Moffat tried to pull that off with Bill Potts in series 10.
Yes, it was good. Yeah. I like how he did it with Bill. Sorry, Lee, if you didn't get the timestamp. Now I will go to 8 minutes.
8 minutes,
So, go to 8 minutes.
Dear. How very disturbing.
I miss Bill Hartnell.
The space there is just...
They've gone to Lime Grove.
Yeah.
It's cold in Lime Grove.
But I do love that police box prop, and I love the way they dirtied it up. You know, the way it materialised in that landscape and all that, and you can see the sand all around it and that. And...
Yeah. Very
good
for its time.
It's a good set for like the first outing of doing any sort of... Obviously, this is an alien world, but it pretty much almost looks like one at this point.
And the sand that they had, the sand that they brought in for it had a lot of flies. And I mean, the studio was all covered in flies because I had, I think it was a documentary or I read a book in it, and the fact that the sand flies all came out and that, and they were kind of swarming the studio.
Oh dear, they pick up a load of sand with sand flies in it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, imagine that. Oh, that sounds horrible.
And that they used this kind of muck to dirty up the TARDIS, and they used it to dirty up the cavemen and that.
Oh God, dirty water, just just.
So I would say that the first episodes, from which I kind of heard they were only about £1,000 each, or £10,000 each. They had basically no money to kind of work with, because you could see in the background it's like it's just like a kind of huge kind of painting background and that, and you've just got the sand as well in the back of it as well.
Yeah, it's painted cyclorama. That's what it's called.
Ian just said it. Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he's smoking.
And none of them had any faith in what they were doing, because it was such a they were rushing together to get this production all underway and all that, and it was plagued with technical problems in the pilot episode, and even this parts of this and parts of the TARDIS the TARDIS appearing in the kind of wastelands thing where the caveman was looking over, that was recorded previous for the pilot as well. So
yeah,
I really do like the early beginnings of Doctor Who, because I think they kind of fascinate me in that way.
Yeah.
All the kind of things that they done, that they all the team had to come together to make this show possible, and they were like struggling with to get on with the cameras and the cameramen and the crew and all that, and the directors and all that. And
you can see it in the cameras. The pilot, you can see they're struggling.
Verity Lambert struggling so badly to kind of please Sydney Newman, and didn't like this, didn't like that, didn't like the titles, didn't like the music and all that.
Yeah.
But they were running late.
Bug-eyed monsters.
The bug-eyed monsters. But they were running late because they had all this all written down, all this all planned, and they had to get this out, and it was basically live television back then, and they had to get it rushed out as possibly as they could.
Yeah, best laid plans, eh?
Yeah.
That's what I love about doing live TV. Anything can go wrong. It's like a battlefield, and something can go wrong. If someone's out of place, something can go horribly wrong.
Yeah, and with William Hartnell, it was the characterization. He was trying with the characterization in what they were writing down as the Doctor, and you'll see later on that they come up to a caveman and that, and they're in a difficult situation, and the Doctor picks up a rock, tries to kind of clobber him.
Well, you've got to remember, like, the sort of heroic side of the Doctor, that came in time.
Yeah.
Obviously now it's sort of fully enshrined in the character, and the sort of fighting for the underdogness of the Doctor and being that sort of universal guardian.
Yeah.
Of being like a defender of Earth. All those titles, they came later.
Yeah.
So when we see the first Doctor, he's still very much this almost hermit-like character.
Yeah.
Who's just really cares about himself and Susan. He doesn't have this sort of outwardly view yet.
Yeah.
I think it's the more he goes in adventures, the more he sees the sort of hurt in the universe, and that he, with his intellect and his skills, he can help it. So it
becomes less of a hermit.
Yeah, but you've got to remember, in his first sort of run of stories, he's not that hero, and you can't really knock him for not being it yet, because that's an evolution. That's what the character became.
Well, it was originally on the run from his own people, and there was this undefined enemy that was supposed to be running away from as well, and it was written in the. I think it was written and it was described as the secret of Doctor Who. I think in the early beginnings, C.E. Bunny Weber and that, and Donald Wilson, they were all trying to come together to kind of make the descriptions for the character after the first early attempts, and he was described as a fugitive, and he stole this time machine and ran away. So basically, he had something in that ship that something really powerful on that ship that he ran away with, and so it was the Hand of Omega.
Yeah.
And I think that was very cleverly done when it came to Ben Aronovich's Remembrance of the Daleks.
Brilliantly done. Yeah.
Well done.
That one. So well done. Loved that. Yeah. It all picks up, I think, by the Aztecs, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at this point, we can see that the Doctor needs companions to kind of, just put him in his place, let him calm down, let him see exactly what is really going on. He really needs that support of all his companions, because if he had no companions and if he didn't have Susan, he could do exactly whatever he wanted. He could fall and fell to the Master or the meddling monk. It could have been like that.
Yeah,
but,
it could turn into that. Yeah.
As Verity Lambert described the Doctor, that he was this unknown character that we didn't know if he was either good or evil or avuncular or kind. They didn't really know, because it wasn't really fully established.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was still very much just a mysterious figure. I mean, obviously, by the end of William's run, you see a lot of change.
Yeah.
And I think, and even and then obviously with Troughton's run, that's when you see stuff really start to stabilize. That's how I almost see Troughton's run. You start to see certain things almost slot into place.
Yeah.
But
because 1966, when the first rejuvenation took place, because it wasn't called a regeneration back then, when that started to take place, it was gradually accepted that the Doctor could do this, and it was just done in a few years after the series began. So the audience did settle with it, and they were more comfortable with Troughton than Hartnell for some reason, and even even his companions, Annika Wills and Michael Craze and all that, were quite pleased when Patrick Troughton came along, because Patrick Troughton was more relaxed and more had fun, and you could see them describing that in a lot of documentaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the problem, it's not a problem, I don't want to use that word, but obviously Bill was an actor of a certain generation, and he had established this part, so you can understand why he sort of felt quite, sort of it was his, and he didn't really want to get told how to play it.
Yeah.
And it was
I always found that the Adventure in Space and Time had hit the nail on the head with that, and I really find that William Hartnell as an actor fascinating for the fact that he was this angry army sergeant, because he was in a lot of the Carry On films, and a lot of films and that, and I think it was
Angry Sergeant.
I saw him in most of the Carry On films, and I saw him in the Escape of the Amethyst, all these war films and all that.
Yeah,
and you can definitely see some of that Sergeant Major stuff in his doc.
Yeah.
When he gets quite angry, he almost does bark out sort of some of his lines in a sort of Sergeant Major fashion. But like I said, I almost think it's better to start off like that and then to soften instead of doing it the other way round. I think they were more clever to say, let's start him off as this sort of strict at times sort of grandfather figure, and then with the next, like you said with Pat, they wanted to loosen it up a bit, make him a bit more sort of friendly and more easy to sort of get on with.
Yeah.
And I think if they would have done the other way around, for example, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
You sort of, it works as your first establishment to go a bit hard, and then have, like I said, but that's the thing, it also makes sense with experiences, because you sort of said the more the Doctor's been around humans, with like Barbara and Ian, and then obviously Ben and Polly near the end, that impacts him. That has a really big effect on him. It makes him see the error of his ways sometimes, and that he can't be this really strict figure all the time. He has to almost be a bit more flexible.
See,
like you said, it's not black and white. He sort of learns that through his companions.
Yeah. See, even though that scene there that he had shouted at the caveman, if he dies, there'll be no fire, and they let him go. I mean, he has compassion for his. He's partially kind of though he doesn't seem to see that he's responsible for taking these humans along with him, because they stumble upon his time ship and all that.
It's their fault almost that they got in the TARDIS.
Yeah.
But he does kind of take a bit of responsibility at times, because he's concerned about their safety and well-being as well, because they're forced in his adventures as well, and maybe they don't understand a lot of things and that's where the Doctor can come in as a kind of teacher, a kind of father figure to the young companions, that he can teach them and explain to them what happens.
It's like I said in the first episode, when he's like seeing their reactions at first to the TARDIS. There's no real venom or sort of hate in the way he speaks to them. He almost sees them as like children, like you were saying. He almost sees them as like these almost very young children that he's just naturally higher knowledge from. So it's almost like aren't they cute that they don't understand the TARDIS? There's no real heat behind his words. So you can see it there even.
It's like he's got some weird kind of fascination with it as well. He loves this event. He loves that they've came upon this and with their fresh eyes, and they don't understand exactly what it is all about and that. And it's like new to him. It's like because he is this superior, all-powerful, or let's say advanced creature from another world, and it's something that the Doctor has experienced throughout his travels through time and space, and he's got used to that through his various incarnations now.
Well, you've got to remember, he's, like I said, all the sort of the defender aspect,
the old Crone, the Invasion of Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, all of that has yet to come, but at this point, he is still run away from his home planet. So he still saw enough, I would argue at this point, of his people. He might not have known fully what they were going to become yet, but he saw enough at this point to run away. That action has happened. So even then, you're seeing the start of the sort of the Doctor feeling like he doesn't belong with his people anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would then, like I said, morph and change and would become what we love about the Doctor now. That sort of fighter for the underdog, that under sort of class, if a species is the lesser, he will fight for them.
He's more of the kind of adventurer. He's more of the kind of explorer. It was described that I think it was the second Secret of Doctor Who that it was described as an explorer with piercing eyes, like an explorer or sea captain.
I can see sea captain. Yeah, I can see sea captain.
Yeah.
So Chris Martin to Jodie Whittaker last night. You can get what you want. You're Doctor Who. And Jodie's response was, not anymore, love. She never gave a fuck about the role, kids.
No, she didn't.
Did she actually say that?
Yeah, that's our quote. Eddie
My
obviously
goodness.
watched her interview last night. Chris Martin said to her, you can get what you want. You're Doctor Who. Jodie said, not anymore, love.
But I thought she was so upset and she couldn't talk about her exit yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bullshit. It was bull. She
Yeah.
never liked being the Doctor. She used that as a step up, as I've always said to people. She
Stepping
used
stone,
it
wasn't
to make her career and to have that on her CD to make it a little bit better. But what she's probably done now is destroyed her career. So, you know, the end of the day, as I said, when everybody was wishing her luck, I said, I can't come on here and wish her luck because, you know, she never liked it all.
No, we told her don't let the TARDIS door hit her ass on the way out. That's what we said.
Right, I'm ready. I've got the second one set up, ready to go. So this is so the quote is basically, Chris Martin says, you can do, where is it? Because Eddie wrote it. Eddie obviously watched the interview last night to see what she had to say. So her quote is exactly this. So Chris Martin said to her, hold on, this is loud. This is really stupid. Hurry up,
I saw the clip with them, and like after the trailer, and they're like she's applauding herself. You know, it's all this self-congratulatory stuff. It just makes me cringe. It's so. You know, it's like how tone deaf to these people. It's
I can't
so
stand
elitist.
her, so I didn't watch it. I was like, she's just going to annoy me if I watch. But that is telling if that's what she said. That is really telling.
Well,
so here it is. Chris Martin, you can get what you want. You're Doctor Who. And Jodie's response was, not anymore, love.
It's just joking. I wouldn't say. I wouldn't take. You know, I'll playing devil's advocate here. You know, and I think some people have a sort of self-effacing sort of humor. So I think that's pretty much all I can read into that. I don't think it's like serious. I just think it's said in jest. You know, on the fly at the moment.
Yeah, but she was still saying in interview she doesn't want to talk about her exit. And
but then you
talk about it.
But if you're on the spot and you have to say something in a sort of humorous way, you're going to say something self-effacing, aren't you? I think that's a general. I think it's not something I would read too much into, to be honest. To be fair, as much as I would love to, but no, I just think that's just like off the top of her head. Kind of thing.
Right. Are we ready for the next?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go.
Dongly dong, dongly dong, dongly dong, dongly dong, dongly dong, dongly dong.
Da-dee-dee-da, boo-dee-doo-doo. Will.
Talk to Oho.
I only just noticed, like, you can actually see the edit where the loop happens.
Yeah.
I've never noticed that before. I don't know why I'd never noticed that.
I think these titles are actually wonderfully edited.
Oh, they're great.
Time.
Yeah, because I mean, I only noticed I hadn't noticed until now that that was a loop. You know? So and I'm usually very very quick to spot things, but not that time.
Yeah, and I also love just how like this is obviously we've seen this is their first adventure and it's gone so wrong. It's like, it's not like a good so far. They've got, I think somebody said in the chat, they've got like the Doctor's been here for 2 minutes and he's captured.
Yeah.
And it's like
it's a sign of things to come.
Yeah, it's like
this is a normal occurrence.
This was the first episode I'd seen in late 1992 on UK Gold when I get the multi-channels for Sky, and I came back from school that night, and it was off a dark. I think it was around about October, kind of November or something like that. Or kind of around about that time anyway. And I remember putting on the lights and all that, and I was in the house myself, and I put on one of the wee lights and all that, and it was kind of dark, and I was expecting the Tom Baker episode, because the trailer was advertising that, and all of a sudden it was just this mist and all that, and I was all excited about it, and it was very riveting. It was like you get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I remember watching at my Doctor Who club at school some of the old Hartnell episodes. Some obviously, when I was at school, when we were watching some of the poetry ones, they were like copies of copies of copies of copies on pirate VHS, and some of the episodes were still black and white. Because that's all there was. Because they're being recorded off TV at the time, black and white or whatever, or the episodes weren't in colour for some reason.
Or just think of like back then, having coloured television was a luxury. So there would be people who still would have had black and white sets.
Yeah, we'd have black and white TV upstairs.
In black and white.
Colour TV didn't really take off until like the
70s.
mid-70s. Yeah. I mean, even though it was in colour by 1970, most people watched it in black and white.
I don't think this would have the same effect if it was in colour.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean, it's the creepiness, the over contrast,
well, everything was shot bearing in mind that
but I've seen someone that's actually colorized.
Yeah.
Some of William Hartnell's stuff, and don't get me wrong, while it does look great, I agree. I think it does lose something when it's turned into colour. The black and white is much better. That's why I love the Troughton era as well. That's in black and white, and some of the episodes of Pertwee were black and white, weren't they? So
they were supposed to be colour though.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Hartnell's Doctors, I do love the black and white, and it does hide an awful lot of stuff, dodgy stuff as well. If you think about it, it is in black and white.
Yeah, I think the only Hartnell I would be interested to see in colour is the Aztecs, because I think it would be interesting to actually see those sets in colour.
Yeah. Hello to everybody. Come on, we show everybody.
Well, I was quite kind of curious to see the Daleks in colour, but
Teddy.
Oh
no!
Hello, Teddy Boo.
Do you know what? He was lying beside his daddy all morning.
All morning. Look at you, Teddy. Teddy.
What? Yeah, what? Do you want to turn around this way? Okay.
I want hugs, Dad. Give me a hug.
Attention now.
Yeah, he wants hugs.
Yeah, buddy. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you, little fella?
So how's he doing now? Is getting better?
Okay. Yeah. Jesus Christ,
well, there's your answer.
Yeah.
There's a scream.
Okay, I'll get you a treat. Watch your leg. I think you have to hold your leg. Stop. Fuck's sake, why did she bring him into me for?
You will not make fire.
I still remember her from the movie.
Eileen Way.
That's it.
She was also in The Creature from the Pit.
Oh, yeah, she's been in quite a few.
Yeah.
Doctor Who spin-offs. So she's been
I suppose as I'm saying, this episode she's quite made up, so they could easily run up a story, couldn't they?
Well, Tom Baker worked with her, and it was Tom Baker described her as a cat lover. And Tom Baker says Eileen loved cats, so I liked Eileen.
That sounds like a Tom quote.
Yeah.
Shit, I thought you wanted to come out and get daddy huggies, and all you wanted was Phil Thicker. Come on. I know, nearly Ted. Yeah. Two of them up the side of Ted.
See, I quite like this part of the story when you see almost like the group dynamics of the tribe, and how like they're just starting now to vie for power. The two, obviously, I can't think of their names right now, but the two main sort of males, they're just sort of very much fighting now for power, and I find that stuff quite fascinating. And like obviously you've got the overall thread of fire, like the fact that the Doctor is seen as this magic man who can provide fire, and they're all fighting over him.
Yeah. So they actually become part of history when Ian starts to make fire for them and that, and you know it shows you that if you travel back in time, you can actually become a part of events.
Yeah, this early on, they're sort of seeing what Hartnell would talk about in the Aztecs about history, and how you can't shift it too much. And it's quite interesting then to think about how the Doctor acts in this story, that he is willing to change history.
Yeah.
He'll know when the caveman roughly learn about fire, so he's quite happy, it comes across to me in this story, to change.
Well, does he? Because we don't really know anything before the events of the first story. You know, like how long has he been on Earth? How much does he really know about Earth history? And
that's a point. Maybe he doesn't know. I never thought of that. Maybe he doesn't know, so he's just sort of chancing his luck.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's his journey through time and space that he learns more and more and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually thinking it was probably before his previous encounters, and before he had arrived in Totter's Yard in 1963.
Yeah. The Hand of Omega.
Yeah.
People keep nicking Time Lord super weapons, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're not very good at keeping them under control. That's why.
And especially that book from Shada as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Professor Chronotis is stealing it.
It's like they have all this horrible, dangerous tech, and they're just terrible at keeping it.
Yeah.
Like maybe somebody else
turn them into museum pieces and people nick them. Yeah. Oh, this weapon of mass destruction. It's a museum piece now.
Yeah, we'll just put it over here. Nobody will nick it. Oh, it's gone.
Someone nicked it.
See,
Hartnell's trying to play it as an old man.
Yeah.
Oh yes, he's playing them. He's playing definitely the frailty of his age.
Yeah.
They hid the key of Rassilon better.
Yeah.
See, I love Barbara here. The acting, you can really see she's starting to almost fall apart.
Yeah. It's what I've said before. It's the psychology of the companions. It's their mental health that comes along with it as well, because they're experiencing something that really not normal people would experience.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that. I think it's also the added danger, and I feel like Barbara at this moment she's almost clicked. Like I've been brought to caveman times. I could die in an instant here if anything goes wrong. So I see it as her realizing that almost, and having the break here because of that. Like, because look at her, it's the noises, it's everything around her. It's like she's realizing just how dangerous of a situation she's in. And Ian's, God love him, he's trying to be like her support here.
I mean, there's a bit of realism in this. You could actually believe it was real.
Oh yeah, like I said, and that's the acting. Who's the actress? Who's Barbara? She's brilliant.
Yeah,
Jacqueline Hill, and the man playing Ian is William Russell.
Yeah.
Caroline Ford is good in this as well.
Caroline as well. Yeah.
See, I can understand why people don't like Susan, but I don't get the hate for Susan. Maybe I've not seen some really shocking episodes with her in, but
never hate Susan.
No, never myself. I think Susan's a part of the Doctor's family.
I hate Toby more in the
I don't think there's hate
movies.
for Susan. I think what it is that in the early episodes she did a lot of screaming and stuff like that, and you know, I think we're kind of all sick of the screaming female trope, to be quite honest with you. You know,
You see, I thought that went on a wee bit too long, and that's how they get Leela in.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, look, I don't like her. I don't like her as a companion, never have. But she does have her positives, but I think there's more negatives. But, you know, thankfully she doesn't stay in the series, because she had to stay throughout this whole run. I don't think I'd be very
I like the radio play with her in it. Just after the invasion of Earth.
Yeah, the one with Jane Asher.
That's the one.
I think when she left at the right time.
Well, her leaving story is great. Like, she really comes into her own, so it makes sense for her to leave at that point.
I would have been
she
happy.
Gave her uncle
a lot more of that. We didn't get a lot more of that. So that's the problem I have. If we had got a lot more of that Susan, then I would have been happy. But we didn't.
No.
So, you know, Carol Ann Ford, God love her, she's a horrible actress. But you know, I suppose it was the 60s. If you've seen her, I think she appeared in something, and wasn't it the Five Doctors, wasn't it? Acting was awful in that. She's an awful actress. They are awful actresses. You know.
No, not exactly A-listers. Remember, it was the 63.
No, she's not a great actress at all. She just had a pretty face, and they needed a young woman for a companion, and she's fit everything that they needed. But our acting is terrible. Always has been and always will be.
I think she was in Day of the Triffids, and I saw her in that, and her acting wasn't very good in that at all.
Like, she gets credit and she gets praise because she's obviously the granddaughter of the Doctor, and you know, if you think about it, the first proper companion, and then obviously Barbara come in. But that's it. That's why she's popular. It's the same with Billie Piper. You break down her character, Rose Tyler. Rose Tyler was actually a horrible character. There was nothing.
No, let's be fair. In her first series, she wasn't. It was what she became in that second series.
Yeah, she became too cocky, and you know, then the love interest thing.
She became too no money, didn't she?
Yeah. So I will agree with you. The fourth series, she was kind of okay. She was. It was the second series, but she's not a great companion. You break down her as a companion, and Martha Jones is better companion than her. Donna Noble is definitely a better companion than her, and I'd even go as far as to say that Bill Potts is a better companion than her. Billy gets a lot of praise and gets a lot of attention because she was the first companion of the New Who era. But if you look at it with a cold, hard eye, she wasn't a great companion at all.
No.
There was better companions in the New Who era than her. But she obviously gets the accolades because she was the first New Who companion.
And I think also there's a bit of people didn't suspect, like people thought she would just do nothing, didn't they?
Oh, look at Hartnell here, the first Doctor here. I mean, this is an interesting scene here. William, Ian and Barbara are trying to help this wounded caveman.
Yeah, and the Doctor just wants nothing to do with it, does he?
Yes, he's in the background, and
I see him there.
He's thinking of something else. He's wanting to get away, and he thinks it's quite dangerous to get. You know, he knows that the chance is that they'll get captured again and locked back at the Cape of Skulls, and he doesn't want this.
Yeah, he's just thinking of his survival, and like I said, at this point, it makes sense for him to be acting like this. But like you said, this is the human connection of a companion.
Mm-hmm.
This is a brilliant example of that, actually, that it is Ian and Barbara who's like, no, we have to save him. And it literally takes Ian to get very close and sort of almost grab him sort of in a very sort of aggressive manner to say, no, you're staying with us.
Yeah.
And he sort of needs that strong will almost against him of Ian at this moment.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's interesting. Why I think it becomes like a fun game at the end with him and Ian, like they sort of like the banter between themselves near the end of his run. But at this point, it's there's not. This isn't from banter. This is Ian, basically, like I said. I think Ian wants to almost punch him at this point to say, like, what are you playing at? Do you know?
Yeah.
If this wasn't seen as like a family show, that's what it feels like. Almost he's thinking, Ian.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is a brilliant line, Card, which when Barbara says, stop treating everybody as beneath you, because he is.
Yeah. It's because he is at this point that there's nothing to kind of stop him. He's only got Susan, and because that he was on the flee from his own people and all that, and he was a fugitive. Well, back then, nothing to do with anything ahead. It was because that he had not, as I said before, he had nothing to kind of, put him in his place. But the companions basically just are in the beginning that they were starting to kind of put him in his place, making him realise that he's got companions, he's got the responsibility of them as well. So
I think it's not just that though. I think his companions almost make him realise he can do a lot of good if he wants to.
Yeah.
And it's his decision with the TARDIS, with his intellect, with his skill, like being a Time Lord, obviously later on with regeneration. That gives him a massive advantage. So he can do a lot of good. And I think this is the start in Bill's run where you're seeing the Doctor sort of almost realise I need to use what I have not just for myself anymore, or not just to protect myself and Susan. I need to look at more outwardly almost.
Yeah. Jack Sparrow moment.
Listen to them. They do not kill.
Yeah.
I think this is an amazing scene.
Yeah.
He's always like this if he doesn't get his own way.
Yeah, he's sulky, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's sulky.
I suppose we all can be like that at some points. But look at this. He reaches down for this stone.
And he's very subtle how he's doing it as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a bit of a dark streak in him in the first kind of few serials.
Oh, yeah. And look at Ian now. Look at Ian's face.
Yeah.
He knew what the Doctor was thinking.
Yeah,
he was going to clobber him.
Yeah. There's this weird dark streak in him for like the first kind of 3 or 4 serials. And then it went away.
Yeah.
Kind of went away with Keys of Marinus.
See, I don't know if it's darkness. I think you could almost say it's a bit of ruthlessness.
Yeah.
Which sort of
slight,
which obviously
slight malevolence, wasn't it?
A lot later down the line you see that ruthlessness. Well, I suppose before McCoy you saw moments of it and flashes of it.
Yeah.
But McCoy was like it fully being on show again almost, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you also saw him trying to track I think it was a kind of trader with a bag of coins and that, and he lifts up the shovel and hits him over the back of the head.
Yeah,
and he leaves a gold coin in one of his eyes when he's sound asleep.
Yeah.
So it's all the kind of funny things that the First Doctor does. I think he's very crafty and very kind of dangerous, First Doctor.
Isn't he?
I think we've sort of said this before, there's certain Doctors you do not want to get on the wrong side of. And he's definitely the First Doctor's in that group.
But you also have to think, he's also trying to protect the whole group by removing the one that's putting everyone in danger.
Yeah.
So it's his morality that is at odds with the human morality.
Yeah.
And he understands that these people are unevolved savages, and that their concept of life and death is very different to Barbara and Ian's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost bigger picture, isn't it, with him? Like Barbara and Ian, because of their human sort of ways, very individual morality to the person they're seeing, whereas the Doctor has to think, like I said, big picture, just what's better for everybody, not just this one caveman.
Yeah. He was very needs of the many, wasn't he?
Yeah, very.
Yeah. I could just see the meddling monk just running around with some machine gun just shooting them.
Yeah.
Get out of my bloody way! I was shooting them. Yeah.
Well.
The next episode is the last episode of this.
Yeah.
Oh, PD, I can see Missy doing that.
Yeah. I see the masters hypnotizing them, turn them into an army.
Well, no, that's the thing. I can see Roger doing that. I can see Missy just doing the machine gun.
Yeah.
Not caring, just being like, no, you're in my way.
Kind of middling monk kind of thing.
Yeah, but would the meddling monk actually be able to do that? Would he actually have the backbone to, or would he not just run away for his life?
Throw a hand grenade and run off.
That's what I mean.
Meddling monk's that crafty as well. I mean, look at the things he does as well. And I mean, all the kind of setups that he does in that, and the gramophone record playing the monks and that, singing and that. It's very funny.
Yeah.
Right, ready to go when you guys are?
Yeah, I am.
Is everybody in the chat ready? Please press 1.
Yeah, I did like the meddling monk in that episode.
Yeah, that's another one where I'm like, how have we not had him yet make a return? Unless it's a rights issue. I know there's certain characters in Classic which is a nightmare because of rights.
Have you seen him in the Daleks Master Plan?
Yeah, I've seen the existing clips of that.
He did for a couple of episodes.
Yeah.
I still think that I'm amazed. Oh, we've seen loads of ones, so I'll start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. No, I'm still. Like I said, I'm amazed that they haven't done like a. And that's another thing that I do hope Russell does. That
he's in a surviving episode, isn't he, the meddling monk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another thing I hope Russell does, that when he does bring anything back, it's not the same characters we've had brought back now in Tangent.
Yeah.
Just that he does actually reach back if he has to reach back, and he actually picks some more odd stuff.
Yeah. But I actually saw that episode. That was a kind of weird episode of Series 12. And thought, shouldn't the Sea Devils be in this? And Noel Tell says the Sea Devils were supposed to be in it.
I really love this episode. I loved them trying to escape and seeing the TARDIS and all the cavemen coming out.
Yeah, just the utter amazement in their eyes is brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I it's a shame we don't get. I think we should get more of that. That's another thing that I've realised in a more modern run, that it's become a bit blasé. Just people seeing the TARDIS disappear. I would love it if we had a bit more of people just being amazed.
Yeah.
At just this box appearing and disappearing, because it would think about in real life if you saw it.
Yeah.
You would just stand there just being like, what on earth did I just see?
Yeah, it's the same every time I go up to Glasgow and go away up to Sauchiehall Street and see the blue police box up there and the red one as well. I'm fixated with it, and when everybody else is walking past it and never notices it, must be thinking, my God, I'm taking another photograph with my camera phone.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because you're a fan. It's like when we see things out in the wild, as I see it. Because I
mean,
remember
see at train stations, see people are fascinated by the trains. Other people are just walking on and off like nothing's happening. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, 'cause
that's all when I was getting up to Glasgow as a kid and seeing them and that, and they were in a bad state. When I was young, and it was like they were always in a bad state. They were never taken care of. The windows were open, the windows were smashed. Maybe one of the door panels were kicked in, and they were all fly posted and all that.
Yeah,
they were in a bad state. The police boxes in Glasgow at one point.
But have they looked after them now? I'm guessing.
Yeah,
Because
they've
of the
turned them
iconic
into CBD shops and coffee shops now.
awesome.
But then they're not a police box anymore.
No,
Well,
it
they
says
still look like a police box.
Well, they said
police box that sells cooked food and all that now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Can
am
you
I
get
just being a
Kronk
purist?
burger?
I'd prefer they just stayed as an actual police box and they just looked after them in that state.
See, now you see the Doctor taking control of the situation.
Yes, he is.
Being
Yes.
a politician, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this is the start of the negotiator that we know.
Yeah.
This is the start of that. Him sort of trying to be that middleman almost.
Yeah.
Carl is a little liar. He's a little liar.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I love this stuff to do with the caveman because you are seeing this power struggle play out, but because they're
tribal.
caveman, it's got that very tribal edge to it. That I think, like the scene you get near the end, I was really shocked that was even allowed to happen. With the sort of how they resolved the power struggle. That's all I'll say until we get to it.
Yeah.
But I remember watching that the first time, and I was just like, "Wow,
Yeah.
that is pretty dark." Oh, I love also when Ian gets annoyed. He has a real sense of like indignant about him. It's so fun to watch.
And the huge rocks in the sets are made of polystyrene, but they're really effective looking. You can see that big stone.
I don't think it was polystyrene back then, because I think it's pre-polystyrene. I think it would have been papier mâché or...
Papier mâché.
Yeah,
could have been.
I don't think polystyrene came into use for a few years yet.
It's probably too expensive, even if it was in use for them.
Yeah, I think it's the 70s.
Fiberglass, yeah. Everyone always moans about that in the what is it?
Probably made with asbestos or something.
Yeah. Arc in space. Bubble wrap. It's like that was brand new at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Brand new material.
It's just I've got to be fair though, and also just somebody watching sort of some of the effects. It's hard not to when you like a part my age where you just sort of don't go. That doesn't look a bit silly.
Yeah. But it didn't look
but you have to apply the lens at the time.
You got to understand, but your initial reaction when you see it is, God, that looks a bit silly. But then, like you're saying,
having said that, there were a lot of people at the time who thought it looked naff, So Michael Graves was one of them.
I think it's the fact that it was like obviously they I don't want to sound mean, but they didn't disguise the fact that it was bubble wrap. They would have done a little bit more with it to make it not as obvious.
Yeah, but again, it was very brand new material.
Oh yeah, for them they probably would like, wow. This
they painted in green. What more do you want?
Yeah. They got a bit of glue, a bit of paint.
And even the written is, I think it's bubble wrap as well.
No, but that sort of became the charm. That's the funny thing with classic. Obviously, at the time, it was. In a weird way, it's sort of become the charm of Classic Who now, hasn't it? When you see those sort of effects and you sort of laugh like good-naturedly because you know that they were trying their best. God love them, and that's all they could do. But it just looks a bit naff now. When you
and really, if you think about it, until Star Wars came along, there really wasn't anything to sort of compare things to. So
2001: A Space Odyssey and Star Wars,
well, yeah, exactly. I mean, there are certain cinematic things, but TV-wise, it had been plodding along for years, and it set the standard for what science fiction looked like, and we didn't know really any better. We hadn't seen anything.
Oh yeah, like Star Trek wasn't like the thing it became on television at that point.
No.
Is it, like you said, in the cinema we hadn't had Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I think when Star Trek was ending, 2001: A Space Odyssey was being shown in the cinema, so it made it look a bit lame. Even though it was like
2001 was released in 1969,
I think.
I think it's before that, wasn't it?
68, 69?
Something. It was before the moon landing.
Yeah, 68, I think.
Did anybody see that William Shatner going into space?
Yeah,
I didn't see it.
That was amazing.
I've seen him interviewed afterwards, and he's glowing. God love him.
Beautiful, emotional response. So it was hard not to be emotional for him.
Oh, he's had a go at everyone. What's it? George Takei had a go at him over it, and then they
I just
called George Takei out.
Of course, George Takei had a go at him. That's all that fella
Called
lived
Prince
for.
William out as well. It was quite good. It's like
Prince William had a dig at him.
Yeah, had a dig.
Who had a dig at him as well?
Yeah, Prince William's going on about the environment. You're getting shot into space, or they're shooting old 90-year-old men into space.
Fuck right off.
Just turned around and said, "Look." He said, "Look."
You're going to begrudge a 90-year-old man to fulfill who better?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
it's right. The royal family are not supposed to. I think people forget. The royal family are there, right? But their job is to basically keep silent and shut
who
up.
are they to fucking complain? I mean, these
watch the Crown,
people
right?
waste so much money and they have private planes and private this and
their own opinions. The royal family is not supposed to be giving their own opinions.
Exactly.
They're supposed to they keep their nose out of things. So I don't know why Charles. I don't know why William
it's Charles that pushed
coming out with all of this fucking climate change bollocks.
It's the World Economic Forum, Charles.
That's not your job. You're a royal fucking a member of the royal family. Your job is to shut your fucking mouth. That's it. The Queen's done it for fucking 8, wherever many years she's done it for. She doesn't get involved. She doesn't give her own opinions because she's not allowed. That's what a member of the royal family is. You have to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
and I'm sorry, Will. Have you not learned anything from your idiotic younger brother?
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to be the sensible one.
Harry now.
But anyway, Shatner turned around and literally said, "Look," he said, "this is baby steps to moving all these harmful corporations, harmful techniques into space."
George Takei give it out.
But they can't do any harm.
Well, imagine if we could mine the moon, we wouldn't need to mine the Earth as much. Think about that.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you out straight. Here's something that's gonna shock you all. Yeah, we when it comes to climate change or whatever you want to call it, because they've changed it so many times now, right? We have little impact on the environment. We have little impact on the climate. The reason why the climate is changing now is because the Earth has gone through a shift, right? Yep. The Earth has already, of the Earth has already shifted. NASA have said that, so they've even contradicted themselves.
CO2 is 1 part in 4 million.
It's
of greenhouse gases. Like water vapor. Water vapor accounts for like 99.9% of all climate change.
Exactly. Exactly, man. And you don't have to be a scientist to understand the science. That's the thing. It's like it's there. The evidence is there for everybody to see. Look at the last climate shift that we had, right? Yeah. So explain, right? So all you scientists out there, right? You're all a bunch of smart arses, right? Tell me something. So back in the day when we had the first ice age, right? There was obviously humans around then. Right? They would have had very little impact on the environment because they weren't driving cars. They weren't flying airplanes. They weren't doing this, that, and the other. So explain that one to me. Come on, geniuses.
Yeah.
It's a natural occurrence.
Well, a lot of the scientists whose names have been used signed a petition to say we didn't sign our names to this.
Yeah.
All that happened was they were asked a question on a questionnaire about climate change. And depending on what they said, they would have been quoted out of context, and that would have been therefore applied to the scientists who agree.
Yeah.
See, this is what happens when you politicize science.
Exactly.
you know?
Ian said this the other day. What's his name? Comics. Ian turned around and said, "He says this is a problem with science. It's become corporate.
Yeah,
Corporate
and it's
science.
woke now as well. You get woke
Woke
people in
corporate
science.
So everyone's good. Of course, everyone's good.
Postmodernists and all this.
There's a great documentary on YouTube. Can't remember the name of it. But
Lime Grove.
it's a conspiracy theory one though. There was a load of climate change or scientists that were involved in showing that climate change was a hoax, and they were all in an aeroplane, and that aeroplane mysteriously crashed, and they all died.
Jeez.
Right. So anybody that has spoken up against climate change, they've either their careers have been ended and they've been vilified, or they end up 6 feet under.
Well, there were a bunch of scientists that went along
grift.
to one of those climate change, IPCC panels, whatever it's called, and they were refused entry.
Yeah.
By armed guards. Right? I mean, they wanted to say not in our name, and they were refused entry.
Yeah, right.
It's a great grift, isn't it?
Science is not.
Yeah, someone said in the chat, let's not talk about climate change because we're here for Doctor Who. I agree.
Yeah, point.
Just watch this.
And this is a shocking. Like I said, this.
Oh yeah,
bit of a crotch shot there.
I was like, this is a full-on brawl. Like, and they're not hiding what this is. This is basically these fellas fighting to the death, and one's going to kill the other, which it would have been.
Lifts this big boulder up and smashes his skull open.
They weren't scared of it, weren't they? It works because of the reaction shots.
And even this, like, dragging the body. I was like, I understand, like, in the 60s, they were less, like, they were more, like, show what you want, but I thought this was a bit close to the knuckle to show it like this.
Yeah.
But like I said, in these times, you wouldn't have a debate about who's the leader. You'd have a fight, and whoever survived would be your leader. That's how they would do things.
By the way, Daniel is thrown in all the channels of all our guests and stuff, including his own channel. Go and there, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to all the channels. They're being thrown in to the live chat there. So
thanks, Daniel.
Give everybody a friendly reminder. Do you know who we haven't heard from on the panel at all yet?
Who's that?
Passive.
Being very fucking quiet today.
He's being passive.
Yeah, it's been passive more than aggressive.
Are you alive? Hello, Alfred.
Yeah, he's alive.
Hello.
I love this scene.
Episode. Old woman gets murdered, then Kai.
Yeah.
Cal gets his head caved in. Yeah, well, it is called the Cave of Fear, isn't it, or something?
I love their reaction. Everybody else, like the hands up, and the sort of, you can see the worship also nature of now the fire. I love this. And like then in a bit when they're like almost touching it, because you can, like, obviously they wouldn't understand. They're cave people. So they would almost.
Wait a minute. Fucking hell, Ted is losing his shit in the bedroom. I'll be back there. I just want to see what's going on.
Cool.
Oh, poor Barbara. She always looks so nice at the beginning of these episodes. Like, just, I'm not thinking of. I'm saying in general. She looks lovely, and then by the end of half of her stories, her hair's like out all over the place.
Yeah.
And she's looking like she's got mud either smeared on her or dirt or something.
I wonder what that is in Caroline Ford's back pocket. Is that an iPhone?
No.
I'm only kidding.
Wouldn't that be funny?
A script.
I think Ted is just having one of those days where he's just being a little prick.
Because I look at this, I love this scene. It's like they don't understand, and like they're getting so close.
Yeah.
And what I love about it is there's no dialogue. There's not a single bit of dialogue, and it's just that scene, and you just have to watch it, and you can tell like what they're feeling almost in that moment.
I think this is actually amazing that they've actually lit fire in the studio and the sprinkler system's not come on.
Yeah, now in line grow. Yeah.
Did they have problems with the sprinkler system?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The system must have been turned off especially for this.
Yeah.
But this is ambitious. Like, this is really ambitious for your first. Obviously, Unearthly Child was a lot of setup, so that wasn't as much of like a big set thing, or it was just a few sets. But this is a full now blown story, and it's like they could have gone safe. That's my point. They could have gone safe. But no, they went for it. They said, no, let's do caveman. Let's do, like you said, a fire. Let's do so many things, which must have been a nightmare to actually accomplish.
Yeah.
See, if they didn't, if they went on later and they didn't get the caveman story, it would have been the Daleks.
Yeah.
As the first story. Well, Unearthly Child getting straight into the Daleks.
Oh, was it? I never knew that.
Yeah, it was because this was the first story that was ready, because the Daleks wasn't ready and they didn't have until they didn't have the Daleks made and all that.
Shawcraft.
Holy shit. China just tested a nuclear-capable hypersonic line vehicle that traveled around the globe through low orbit in space before cruising to the target. US intelligence and military officials are stunned. They've created a new hypersonic fucking rocket, man.
Yeah, well, that's coming.
Fun.
Well, they're going to, I'm telling you, man, I've said this, China is going to be the new Russia when it comes to the space race, and I think they're going to, the US space program is kind of stagnated since they got rid of the space shuttle. I think China is going to take over as the new place for people wanting to go.
Yeah, it was NASA wanting commercial space travel, didn't they?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll buy our rockets in future.
Idiotic move. They should never have. If they wanted to retire the shuttle, fine. But they should have designed a new rocket.
They should have got the Orion ready.
The Americans are up to it. Like, if they get beaten by the Chinese, they'll deserve it anyway. I mean, the Chinese put a rover onto the moon already, and they've got plans to do other stuff as well and go to Mars. So, you know, if they start beating the Americans at their own game, Americans, I know what they'll do. In a panic, then they'll try to get people to Mars ASAP. And I think that'll be a disaster. I don't think we're ready to send humans to Mars yet. And I don't get the point of sending us to Mars anyway. Why not send us to a planet where we could...
Yeah, where you go anywhere in solar system
future, just in case we fuck this world up, you know?
Yeah.
I just love this scene here. Them all running away from the cavemen, and the cavemen are running with fire torches.
Come here, you. I want to talk to you. Ted. Yeah, you can turn it off for now. I'll put it on when I'm ready to eat. Come here for a minute. I want to talk to you. Come here.
Live Grove.
Come here. No foxes.
Yeah, they're just running a loop.
Right? You say hello to everybody on camera. You stop being a bold little doggy. Right? You say hello to everybody.
Look at him. He's like,
Look him. I'm just looking at my daddy.
Look at you.
I'm going to kill him. Oh, look at him.
Yeah, little corgi face.
I'm going to scream like a terrorist. Yeah.
Oh, bless him.
I do like this getaway scene.
Fanny's born the kitchen. Oh, fuck. Open that window. Get the
center.
Hold on. Oh wait, they're in the tart. This episode's just over, so just give me a second.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know those lights.
You don't see and you don't see the materialization in the first bit. This is the first dematerialization.
Yeah, I love the reaction.
Yeah, because you're in the TARDIS, the first one.
Yeah.
Like, look at their faces.
I know they're completely bamboozled by it.
Yeah, but just
I do really love this TARDIS interior.
Yeah.
It's one of my
Anything
favourites.
that you can wrap it around.
Very ambitious.
Yeah. Conley in Space was the last time you saw this set.
Yeah.
With different
It's
different
the oven.
console.
Do me a favour when you're out. Get oven cleaner. I need more oven cleaner. Get the spray though, and I'll clean the oven. Probably due for a clean. But you had it up too high anyway. You can't see the smoke, guys. Right? You don't see
Trying
the
to
smoke.
reenact a scene in the Firemaker.
Well, you do know I stream at a certain time, so I can't.
Cheryl the Firemaker.
Oh, you had a busy night last night. I'm going to have another busy one today because the Batman trailer gets released in an hour. And then I have
So
other
this is
trailers
the Scarrow set.
Yeah.
So this was actually a model shot that they're
Mhm.
actually viewing at this moment in time.
Hold on, is this still the same episode?
Dead Forest.
Yeah, still the same episode.
We've got 2 minutes left.
Yeah.
The radiation alarm's going to go off in a second. Don't realise how much I actually worked on that console. I didn't realise it was spinning lights and all sorts.
It was absolutely amazing because I think the designer didn't have any faith in it. I mean, all he did is design the console and put these roundels all around it and that. And
Yeah.
I love this console with the radiation meter.
The Dead Planet. There we go. There's our Dalek.
Yeah.
It's the
So
Daleks.
that's next week's episode.
Yep,
Next
we're
week?
doing them.
Yeah, the Daleks, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, the Daleks.
next week, yeah.
Will it be the Chinese Daleks next week?
No, that's the end of that show. Right, just close that now. Save car. Right, let's get straight into it. So, how we'll do this is we'll just rate. We won't rate the stories individually. We'll rate them all collectively. I think that would be better. So, because it is the one story, it's just broken up into 3 parts, isn't it? So, we'll rate it. We'll rate it all as one. So we will start with the one and only Queen Charlotte, because I know she heads off soon. So we'll start with you, Charlotte. Do you want to give your rating and also tell us how you felt about the story in general?
No, I was, because obviously I've heard a lot about An Earthly Child and obviously the ones afterwards, and a bit of me was like, a bit of almost like the Genesis thing of like, is it going to live up to the hype? And I was, like I said, I was really amazed by the sort of how well they did the scenery, how well they did the tribal dynamics, and the sort of, like I said, the leadership theme, and the sort of the trying to fight each other for leadership, and the fire aspect. I think that's really well done, because that could have gone so bad. Because obviously the caveman, they can't speak in full languages. You're still getting used to the Doctor and Ian and Barbara and Susan as a group. So you've got a lot to do in this story, and I think the caveman angle was brilliant. Like I said, there were so many scenes when they were fighting, that confrontation with one of them killing the other. The sort of them reacting to the fire was really well done. And I think the Doctor was on the back foot for a good chunk of these 3 episodes, and it was really interesting to see how this early on, how's he going to react. And we sort of spoke about his sort of harshness, but it makes sense, and I think that makes it more compelling actually to watch with the Doctor. And then you've got Ian and Barbara sort of getting used to, this is their first trip, and you've also got the added stuff of usually a companion chooses when they want to go on a trip with a Doctor. These 2 didn't, they just got thrown into this.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got that aspect on top of how far they've gone back. And I love that, because we just see them sort of unravel the first 2 stories. They're panicking, they're sort of beside themselves, and it's not till the last story you sort of see both of them come together and sort of get that sort of iron will that they need to travel. And obviously, and then even when they've got their breath back in the TARDIS, it's like, oh, we're back on this next planet now, so they've not even got a chance to breathe, which I think is interesting for the next story. Susan, I think she wasn't as I liked her in the first episode because it was very much centered on her. But obviously, with all the other factors, she sort of fades a bit and becomes background. But she didn't annoy me. Like I said, I think they knew that they had to build Ian and Barbara in these stories, and they did a very good job. So I'm going to give this a 10. I really enjoyed these three. So I'm going to give this a 10.
Absolutely fantastic. We've got a few scores in the chat before we get to our next guest. So let's see, we're ready. So we had, why did the chat, I hate when the chat skips like this. Bear with me for 1 second. So Daniel gave it an 8.5. Dave gave all 3 episodes a 10. I'm giving all 3 a 10 out of 10. Okay, fantastic. Lee Halford gives it an 8 out of 10. Cardwich gives it an 8 out of 10. I'll just put your scores up on the stream there. There you go. We'll go with you next, Alpha Omega, because you haven't really said that much, and we might as well let you say something now. So an hour and 51 minutes in, you haven't said a word. So give us your review.
It was okay.
Fantastic, brilliant. Go on, mate. Go ahead, knock yourself out.
I like that. I like how this one sets up the dynamic between all the members of the TARDIS crew.
Yeah.
With this, I like how they show how the Doctor is a darker character in these early times, and how we see over time how he develops and becomes a little more mellow guy than what he is in these early ones. I like the dynamic between the power struggle with the cavemen. That was kind of interesting, but overall, I don't like caveman stories. As a general rule, I'll give this overall weighted average of about a 7.
You give it what? Sorry, mate. What did you
give it a 7.
Okay, no problem. Thank you very much. Real Super Doctor.
Well, I would give this a 10 out of 10. It's very ambitious for what they've got and what they had to work with. I mean, the sets are creative and the acting is very good, and the acting from Ian, Susan, and Barbara and the TARDIS team, and there was a great effort put into it when it was the beginning of a serial in which they had no faith in. And it's all well done. The darkness of the Doctor and showing that the Doctor needs companions to kind of change his attitude and make him see things and all that. And I think that works very well. And I really love it. And I love the sets as well. I think they're amazing. For probably a budget of £1,000, and I think it's very atmospheric. When the TARDIS is out in the wilderness, and you can see the trees and all that, and the cavemen just came up, and when they were trying to get away and all that, and I thought these are good cliffhangers, and you could see that the skulls were cracked open and everything like that, in the Cape of Skulls, and the action in it, and there was a bit of violence in it as well. So I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Fantastic. Lee?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Alpha on... Oh, for fuck's sake. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, good. I was on mute there. Yeah, my turn! I'm talking! Right. Yeah, I agree with Alpha, really. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the caveman thing. I understand that, the script was kind of rushed through because the Daleks wasn't ready.
Right.
And I do imagine, like what it would have been like if they'd gone from, the Unearthly Child story to the Daleks. I think that would just been perfect. But I suppose for a dry run, it's pretty good. Great ensemble cast with the material they had to work with. There's some nice ideas in there. And it does have an interesting setup of the crew dynamic, which is a bit of a strange start when the Doctor, goes from just being a mysterious curmudgeonly old man to a potentially lethal, dangerous person, you know, which always sort of stands out as quite unusual in the Who lore. For me, I find it very difficult to kind of put this together with an unearthly child as one thing. So I kind of really separate that in my mind.
Well, that's why I did the way I did.
Yeah. Well, I think it deserves to be a thing on its own right, you know. And I think my score for that was 8, 9, wasn't it, for the pilot and the televised version. For this, I'm going to have to say 6.5. Really, I wasn't really that impressed.
Okay, fair enough. See, that differences of opinion on the panel. That's how it goes. PD.
Yes, I mean, I quite enjoyed this episode, but I'm not a big fan of the old caveman adventures either. But it was good for what it was at the time. You've got to put yourself back, your mind back into that time period. It must have been very good. And the first adventure is always going to be one back in time, isn't it? And then one forward in time, or vice versa.
Well, this established that format, didn't it? Really?
Yeah. You always go back before you go forward. And then nowadays it's forward before you go back. But you know, but yes, I enjoyed it. It was nice to see Eileen Way in there. Appears a few more times in Doctor Who throughout her career. It's nice to see the slight development of Bill Hartnell from this kind of curmudgeonly old kind of hermit, kind of hiding on Earth, to this kind of like sea captain, kind of slightly malevolent. That's the word. Yeah, on the tip of my tongue. I need to get something to drink in a minute. Yeah, but anyway. Yes, going from that and just see, and also Charlotte picked out, rightly so, there was a lot of violence in it, but they did it in such a way that it wouldn't get censored. It was. So I give it an 8. I don't think it's as strong as The Unearthly Child, but I think they did a very good job. And with the Daleks not being ready, I think they did that. So pulled an absolute blinder out the hat.
Well, I'm going to give it a 9. 9 out of 10. I do agree with Real Super Doctor. I don't mind. I love all that caveman stuff anyway. I love movies that have cavemen in it. So I do personally. I can get why people don't, because it can be quite boring, that type of stuff. But I do agree with John. This was very ambitious. You've got to think of the budget that they had as well. The acting was actually superb. Can't fault the acting. Well, for the time, I have to say it was ultra violent. I mean, that scene where your man picks up the boulder, like, you know. You know, I know they didn't show it, but they showed them.
There was enough show that you knew what they.
So for that time, you know, kids back in the 60s watching that as well with their parents, that would have been very traumatic.
Yeah.
So what did I give it? A 9 out of 10. So I'll give it a 9 out of 10. I think the Dalek. Look, I agree with people. Unearthly Child is definitely the better story. But Dalek next week. I love that. So
it's absolutely brilliant. The Daleks.
Yeah, I give that a 10. I would. Great little story. Cam gives this a 9. Absolutely fantastic, and well done, Daniel. Daniel is in there, throwing in all the links to everybody's YouTube channel. I really appreciate that. And remember, I did ask you all yesterday to subscribe to Alpha Omega's channel, and I did say he was on 93 subs. And when we came on here today, I was hoping that he would get to his goal, which is 100 subs. So, Alpha, did you get to 100 subs yet, or do I have to go and start slapping heads?
No, I believe I'm at 95 now.
Oh, well, you gained another 2. That was supposed to. So, but still, come on. There has to be people out there that haven't subscribed to him yet. Go and subscribe to him. Get him up to his magic 100. And he's going to be doing Blake 7 with Lee on his channel. So go and check that out, because I know Blake 7 is very popular with people and stuff like that. And he has other ideas for other streams as well. So he's thinking of doing another comedy stream. So check out his channel. Check out Daniel's channel and all the other channels that are in the chat. Right, we're going to leave it there. I'm going to say goodnight, because I am a bit... DC fandom. I think the Batman trailer is about to drop, apparently. So I am going to get ready for that at the same time while I'm going to do a bit of multitasking now, which I couldn't do earlier on. I'm going to go and make me dinner as well. Yeah, I haven't had me dinner. It's 9:30 and I still haven't had me dinner. So I'm going off to cook me dinner as well. So I won't be around to chat to everybody behind the studio. I'm just letting you know. I'm going to
No, I've got to sod off as well.
and I need a
I'm
bit of
going
a
away.
rest. But anyway,
Oh,
I've
me
had a
and
long,
PD will chat. We usually do.
Yeah,
so
sure.
I've had a long. This weekend has really taken out of me, and we haven't even got to Sunday yet. So
When did you end last night? Because I left about 2.
Yeah,
about 4 o'clock in the friggin' morning.
4 o'clock in the
My
morning.
God, I couldn't even hack that. 4 o'clock in the morning.
It ruined
in the
me.
morning is when we stopped. Yeah, Paul Streck
Literally
left
been on
and then he
YouTube till
decided to
2
come
a.m.
back to tell us a story.
Yeah.
Then Melina, he got Melina going because the Resident Evil movies.
Oh,
So we
yeah.
did a bit of debate about that as well. But yeah, it was look, the 2 streams were great last night. It just took a lot out of me. That's all.
Yeah.
I just need to rest. So
Yeah, you need to recover, mate.
back fighting fit tomorrow for our favourite episode of Chibnall.
Oh, God. Dinosaurs. Just want to say spaceship on a dinosaur stone.
So I'll ask you now.
Adric
I'm
sequel.
putting you on the spot right now. So who on this panel right now is going to be here tomorrow?
Oh, I'll be here to swear.
I'll be here because it's going to be fun to take the mic out of.
It's not
I don't think I can sit through it. I will just say things I will regret. Well,
I remember seeing that.
Plagiarized, so there we go.
Well, I'll just say right now that story was plagiarized. So
that was terrible.
Right, well, are you joining us? Or are you not going to join us?
I don't know. I am so behind on work, and I just can't get anything done if I'm constantly streaming. I just can't.
We'll take that as
we'll see.
He's using his work as an excuse not to turn up.
I know, right? It's outrageous.
We've got 2 channel episodes. Oh, God.
He's off work. He says he heard that here first. Alpha's off work.
Yeah, I am hungry, mate. I'm gonna eat a bleeding horse now when I go offline, Daniel.
What, Findus?
Not a real horse. I'm not gonna eat a real fucking horse. But
or a takeaway.
Yeah.
An Iceland lasagna with real horse meat.
They're all down now having a few beers. It's not good for you, John.
Iceland lasagna.
Try that. Good night here. Keep it down. Nobody wants to hear some drunken man now. Yeah. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Listen, thank you for joining us. Hopefully I'll see. I'm going to take a little rest now, see if that trailer is up. I'm not going to look at it, but I'm going to see if it's up. If it is up, then I'll do it. It won't be a 4-hour stream or a 5-hour stream like it was yesterday, because I said I was only reacting to the Series 13 trailer, and we ended up staying on for 4.5 hours, 5 hours, for fuck's sake. So when I do this Batman trailer, it'll just be a reaction and then be thoughts, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, we had to say what we had to say yesterday, so there we go. Yeah. We all got it all out.
And if you haven't checked out Whitaker's interview, apparently it's a bit of an eye-opener. And, while the comments that I read out to you, people are saying don't read too much into it, but I think you have to watch the full interview. This woman is arrogant. She used Doctor Who.
God, yeah.
And, good riddance. Good riddance. And that comment that Chris Martin just proves to me that she only used this as a ladder, but unfortunately, it's had the opposite effect. Her career is destroyed now. And it is. She's never recovering from this. I don't care what anybody says. She's not going to recover from this.
Melina said me,
in acting again either. She'd probably play an extra or something. She's never going to get any work either. Or if she does, it'll be for leading a children's show or something. No, Whitaker and Manif and everybody that's worked on Doctor Who, except for Bradley Walsh and Tolson Cole, they're the only 2 that will actually do something decent. But as for the women that were on Doctor Who, and this is no offense to any woman out there, but those 2 women in particular, they're not going to have a career. Their career is done. And rightly so, they deserve it. She never respected the role of the Doctor. She never did the research. I don't care what she was told. And she belittled fans. She deserves everything that's coming to her, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And if that means we're not working again, I'm glad. Well, anyway, I'll never watch Artna Whitaker. She's gone now with Doctor Who. if we end up being in new shows, I won't watch them because I'm not a Whittaker fan. So good riddance. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way. And take your fucking fans with you.
Yeah, more importantly.
Jodie Piss Taker, I call her now.
Take your fans with you. Right? Because they bullied and vilified fans in your name. So take your fucking scumbag fans with you as well. Bye-bye. Right, that's it now. I'll talk to 20 people watching. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe button if you haven't subscribed already. And check, because YouTube is being a dick again, right? So I was 10 subs away. I'm now 14 subs away. Every day I come on, there's extra couple of subs. It's either that or people are genuinely pissed off with me because I like Series 13 trailer. Because I've even lost a few followers on
that's
Twitter.
Ridiculous.
So, but that's the way it's gone now, mate. That's the way it's gone.
It's so, that says it all about this series, isn't it? It's the most polarizing fucking thing ever in this fandom, and it's dividing people left, right, and centre, and it's just ridiculous.
I know. But look, I had me say earlier, I got it off in the chest. I don't care now. Let them. I mean, even in the thread, I have people. I'm not watching that shit. I don't care. Don't come to me and tell me you're not watching that shit. Keep that shit to yourself. Bye. I'm done. That's why the chat that we were in, I left because I'm just sick of the negativity. It wasn't acting against anybody. I just left that chat because I was getting notification after notification after notification after, and I just said, you know what? I don't want to be here for this negativity. So no offense to anybody that's in that chat. You're all lovely. But I'm just sick and tired of it all. I just want to, go into this area with an open mind and not have me thought processes influenced in any way. So that's why I left. So just in case, because I know you didn't mention that and you haven't said that, but I'm just saying that you're on the live stream. I just left because I just couldn't deal with all the notifications and all the crap that was going on. And it was supposed to be set up for something else, and it's become something else, if you know what I mean, Lee. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all good.
So it's all good.
It's all good.
It is all good. So, I'm not fighting with anybody around. I just can't deal with it.
Yeah, fuck it. Look, as I said, there's room for all opinions.
That's it. That's what I mean.
Like
and I don't disagree with
space for all opinions.
It's just
yes, Jodie, space for all opinions.
We can all agree to disagree.
Yeah. And with that, I'm going to leave you with the classic trailer this time because I played the wrong one. So good night.
Good night.
Good night.
If you are out having a good time, remember to stay safe, look after yourselves.
And nice one, Daniel. Thank you so much.
And Daniel, thanks for throwing all the links in and modding away there. You've done very well tonight. Thank you. And I will go eat some grub. Don't worry. I don't know what I'm going to have, but I'll check.
A horse.
Yeah, maybe a horse. Maybe a sheep.
Take away.
No. Now, do you know what? I don't really eat takeaways that much. It's only when we're not in the humour of cooking, we might get the odd takeaway like we did.
Do you like Chinese takeaway?
I do like Chinese, yeah, I do.
Sweet and sour.
But I eat too much Chinese.
I like the sweet and sour.
Trouble is with Chinese takeaway is you're starving for it, and then you eat it, you feel I can't eat another bite, and then within 5 minutes,
That's exactly what it is, man. Yeah, like I mean, I wonder when you get a curry right and you see the size of the thing on the plate, and you think, I'm not going to be able to eat all that. But you're literally right. You'll eat half of it, you'll feel fucking full, right? And then you'll put the rest of it to the side, and then 5 minutes, you're right. So I just eat it all. I just wait until the belly explodes. I eat it all. And then about half an hour later, then I'm hungry again. I'm looking for a bit of fruit or something, something, because I won't eat any more food. So I'd rather eat a bit of fruit or something like that. Because Cheryl now has actually got me fruit. So, because she used to buy me bars of chocolate and stuff like that.
I'm so bad at eating fruit. I try and put grapes in my salad.
Yeah.
Red grapes in that salad.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No, it's
right.
And that with pine nuts, bit lemon.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Right, anyway, you're just as bad as Cheryl when it comes to shit like that. Don't be perverting and ruining food. Right? Grapes do not go in a salad. Don't know what kind of
fucking
salad
you're eating. Well, you can put strawberry in a salad.
Was it a Mediterranean salad or something, was it?
Waldorf salad.
That's a bit weird.
It is a little bit weird to me, yeah. But Lee liked it, so there you go. He liked it. That's all well and good.
Hey, you just mentioned, didn't you, sweet and sour? I mean, what's
I don't
the
eat
Fish
sweet and
fingers
sour.
and custard. Has anybody tried that?
I hate sweet and sour
Tomatoes
curry.
are fruit.
Mine is black bean sauce or it's Thai green curry. That's what I'll have. Or,
Like green curry years.
I remember
I
I
love
tried
Thai
deep
green curry.
fried sausages and custard.
What?
It was because of this gaming channel on Sky One. There was this man that I think one of the contestants called Big Boy Barry, and he has
Very Bundy on there as well.
His favourite thing was deep fried sausages and custard. I think it was called the Eliminator, and it was.
Sorry, I have to go off
Sky
camera
One.
there because I nearly got.
Big boy Barry.
I'm down for a little bit completely. Right, good night, folks. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow here for Dinosaurs in a Spaceship. And I'm sorry it is Dinosaurs in a Spaceship, but that is the next episode that we actually
we'll get through it. We'll roast it.
But let's
remember
join us anyway so we can actually rip the piss out of Chris Chibnall's writing. It'll be fun. We will still have a bit of fun. So good night. Here's the trailer. See you later. Have a good one. Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye. Goodbye.
Bye.
Goodbye. Apple pie in your eye. There's a fly. Bye bye.
Oh God.